coming up next is Super Mario World. All small only. And to tell us more about this run, which was probably going to be starting very soon, that's why I've gone ahead and brought in our commentator. Long time no see, ghostkumo.
Hisashiburi da na, Bobby-san. I apologize. Anyways, hello everybody.
Were you crabbing with the rest of us? There's still crabs on the screen.
I don't know if you see the comms chat, but I posted like 20 crab wave emotes. I assume the runner mentioned this, but the developer of Crab Champions was the the one who made the original Crab Rave and music video. And I think just was like, oh, I already know how to animate an Unreal, might as well.
Unfortunately, legally could not include Crab Rave into that game, as we learned from our commentators then. So we have Super Mario World small only coming up. Why would someone want to never get big in Super Mario World?
Well, so the main thing that you're keeping out of it is the cape. There is 11 exit no cape, which is still some shenanigans, but like there's a whole bunch of things you can still do. Super Mario World has a whole just host of a bunch of different glitches that they've come up with, like tricks and stuff. They've come up with a variety of categories to show different tech. So in this particular category, there are 3 rules just in general. No use of arbitrary code execution, because I mean you technically I think can do that small only. But it's just like it's a bunch of glitches and then you just skip to the end of the game. So it's kind of like a get to the defeat the final boss as quickly as possible without breaking rule number 2, which is no power-ups. So that means no mushrooms, no capes, no fire flowers, no and that also means no midway checkpoints. So that's because those just power you up and make you big automatically. They basically just give you a mushroom. You're also not allowed to use Yoshi.
But isn't that speedrun lore that Yoshi gets thrown off a cliff all the time?
There will be a Yoshi in the run, but it's not quite the one that you're thinking.
Okay.
And no, he won't be kicked off a cliff. He'll just be shoved into a corner, and then Mario will abandon him.
Then is this really a Mario speedrun if Yoshi is not sacrificed?
He's kind of. I mean, Bowser already kidnapped him, or not kidnapped him, but messed with all the Yoshi eggs. But yeah, it changes the route fairly substantially. Like, this is about a 5-minute slower category than the category that most people know, the non-arbitrary code execution any percent category, as 11 exit. Basically, because this game doesn't really have a percentage counter, they have what are called exits, which is like some levels will have multiple different ways that you can clear it, and when you clear it, it might unlock like a different path or whatever. But there are 96 total like ends of stages, and those are exits, and so that's kind of the way that they calculate it. It's kind of like stars in Super Mario 64. The number of various stars that you have to collect for conditions, which can be something like 0 or 1 star, which are the like bare minimum, 16 star, which was the oldest way to beat the game without doing any backwards or doing any side backwards long jumps, which was kind of the most infamously difficult trick in that game. And then there's 30 star, which doesn't involve doing any clips and except for backwards long jumps. There's 45 star, which is like get 3 stars in every level. Like people just come up with all these sorts of various different categories to change things. In this game, there's no cape, no star world is a popular one because that just forces you to beat all of the castle levels rather than going to the star world. Small only is not 11 exit. I want to say it's... I calculate here. It's 14 or 15 exits, just because you can't like do certain things that you would otherwise like that you would do in the 11 exit category with like the cape, and you have to go to like a later level. I'll get into that once we get into the actual run itself. I think this screen is based on the game that was in the schedule yesterday. Gomi Bako. It was like just before one of the runs that I commentated.
Yeah, I've been having fun watching this all week because apparently somebody clued me in on this because yes, these are pre-rendered. Yeah, these are pre-rendered, but apparently as the marathon goes, the player, whoever's playing this, actually gets better. So like I've actually noticed like we've gotten up to 10,000 kilometers today when we were never making it up to 5,000 kilometers on day one. So it's like as the marathon goes, this break screen, it's getting better, and we're getting higher up before everything gets cleared away.
Yeah, they get more elaborate animations. I remember the last event that we did for RTA in Japan was like a tower defense game, and it's like different like. At different points in the marathon, different sets of enemies would show up. They have fun with it. I really love all the various RTA Chan stuff. I wish I could get an R-Chan plushie. It's so cute. It's literally just the letter R, and it's somehow just moe as hell.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, RTA in Japan's branding is unparalleled. Yeah, I think this is based on... I want to say I think this is based on Trash Panic, but that might just be like confirmation bias, because they had a game like on the first day of the marathon called Trash Panic, where they were just like dumping a whole bunch of stuff in like a trash compactor. It was a very strange game. I recommend checking out the run at some point.
I don't know if that's a good idea. Nope, not going to be a good idea. Not a good idea. Womp womp. You are watching RTA in Japan Winter 2025, the English Restream. We're just waiting as they're getting set up for Super Mario World. Small only. We're in our Mario block. Super Mario World, Super Mario Maker 2, Super Mario Galaxy. And I think now we are ready for Super Mario World.
Alrighty, so welcome to Super Mario Brothers 4, aka Super Mario World. Oh, he's just showing off. So the runner for this is going to be Ricky, not to be confused with any other runner you might know by the name of Ricky. But yeah, this is Super Mario World. Beat the game without using arbitrary code execution, and you have to stay as Small Mario the entire run. I am ghostkumo. I have played this game. I've watched a lot of runs of this game. I have never commentated this game before, so this will be a bit of an interesting experience, but it's a fairly short run. The cool thing, at least, is the first like 3 minutes of this run are more or less about what they're like in any standard, I guess, quote-unquote, any % no arbitrary execution run of this game, 11 exits.
方々声出さずにでお願いいたします。よろしくお願いします。配信のご覧方々は、スタート時の掛け声でマリオというチャットで盛り上げていければと思いますので、どうぞよろしくお願いします。3、2、1マリオで始めていきたいと思いますので、どうぞご協力いただきたく思います。では早速始めていきたいと思います。3、2、1マリオグッドラックです。
Mario.
Mario. All right, so basic gist of this, you got the game. They want you to go around to defeat all 7 of Bowser's Koopalings, who have later been retconned to not be his kids. I think that was just a localization quirk. But we need to go to each of the castles and save all of the Yoshis. But we're not going to do that because that takes too long. About like 30-ish minutes is, I think, the fastest all castles run. But this is Super Mario World. Just a lot of this run just comes down to trying to hold right and maintain top speed for as much of the run as possible, and stopping as little as possible, and just avoiding all the obstacles along the way. As the category name suggests, this is small only, which means no power-ups. That means you cannot get a mushroom, you cannot get a cave, you cannot get a fire flower, and you cannot hit checkpoints. So yeah, if you he takes one hit, he just dies. So a lot of this game just comes down to just getting really practice with each level and knowing exactly where to make each jump, so that you just never lose speed. Like right there, bouncing off of an enemy to get over a gap. It's just constantly holding right and the sprint button at top speed. And intentionally, I believe intentionally you missed the goal in this game because you don't want to ever get enough to accrue for the bonus game, so not like it really matters. This isn't like Super Mario 1 where the higher up on the goal you are, or like the way you hit the goal matters. It doesn't actually matter for speed runs, except for when you do like bullet bill glitch in that game, but yeah. Anyways, levels like this are a lot about just maintaining speed, and just this particular level just getting in the water as little as possible. So, very quick set of levels, mostly pretty standard stuff. We'll get into the more small Mario specifically, small Mario only specific tech once we get to like the second area of the game.
最終ステージとなりますヨースター島の城を攻略していきます。こちら金網に掴んで移動するよりもジャンプして進んだ方が早いため、ジャンプキーを押し直ししてなるべく金網
So here, just trying to spend as little time as possible on the grate and then jumping, because just being on the wall there is slow.
お見事ですね。まずは一部屋目を攻略していきま
Here,
した。
get a nice little auto scroller. How's everybody doing today? How are you today, Bobby?
I'm doing good. It's so weird because I haven't watched a straight Super Mario World in so long. It's always been Kaizo, and so I'm it's kind of weird coming back to this.
Yeah, it kind of has that effect, and it's gonna continue to, because the next run after this is Super Mario Maker 2. Albeit, I don't think it's getting the quick kill on the first boss here always just looks kind of funny, but just very well executed. But yeah, next up is Super Mario Maker, which uses some amount of Mario World mechanics. Actually not familiar with endless mode, all difficulties. Is that just like an exhibition or something?
I think it's like it pulls random levels that other people have made, and you're trying to go through and solve it, beat as many as you can.
Yeah, okay. So I know there's like some built-in levels in some of the Mario Maker games as well. It's been a very long time since I played that. But we're just talking about what's up next. On to the second area of this game, and here's where we're going to get into the first tech that requires being small Mario. There's a secret exit at the top of this level where you need to use a key, and the intended strategy is to have the cape, but he actually picks up a shell here. He's going to do a shell jump with it, which is in this particular case involves kind of like doing a slight left turn and then turning back right, and then bouncing off of it. Gets it first time. Very well done.
First try.
Yeah. So here's where the small Mario only tricks really come into play. Alas, he cannot get to the, I believe he cannot get to the Star World. Either that or you can't beat the first Star World level without a power-up, so this is where the route deviates most for this category over like standard 11 exit where you actually have access to power-ups. But key thing when you grab an object and are holding on to it, Mario swims faster, which is why you grab the block and then the P-switch. The kill plane is low enough that you can just swim under everything here and just bypass obstacles. Taking it a little bit safe there at the end because he doesn't want to die, because again, this particular category is a little more unforgiving because you can't access a checkpoint at any point, because that would raise Mario to large size. And the rule requirements, if that happens, is you just have to instantly take a death and try again. So here on the second screen of this Boo house is a Boo that you can actually, rather than like using like the cape or whatever, you can spin jump, which allows you to bounce off of enemies that can't be killed, and just spin jump up to the top, and there's the exit for this particular stage. Very nice.
本来であれば通常プレイでは、くるくるブロックからツタを出してそのツタを登ってゴールにたどり着けるんですけれども、テレサのスピンジャンプでショートカットして攻略していきました。お見
This
事です。
next level, I am just going to let it speak for itself because it is just pure platforming bliss.
さあドーナツヘイヤコース3では最初のリフトで P を貯めてそれを最後まで維持しながら進んでいきます。狭いリフトから落ちないように気をつけながら、攻略していきます。さあここから少し減速をしてリフトを先に進ませて1マスの届かなかったですね。ちょっと減速が足りなかったが、ちょっと非常にもう本当にギリギリ。
When executed well, when executed perfectly, this stage just looks beautiful because you're making so many of these just tiny jumps.
足場の狭いリフトになるべく落
She's
ちない
able
よう
to
に
pull it off
進んでいきます。
second try.
先ほどのところが非常に難しいところなので、まずは減速をしてリフトを先に進ませて、そこから1マスの足場、いいですね、素晴らしい。今回乗っていきました。
Bouncing off the fuzzies there because they can't be killed.
リフトに乗ってそのまま進むといったロスをなるべく回避して、もうなるべくね、マリオの P スピードでどんどんと攻略していくことが可能となっております。さあ、いいですね。
Nice.
First try.
Definitely first try. Yeah, like I know some people don't love the idea of 2D Super Mario Brothers speedruns because there's a capped speed at which you can go, but it always just looks so pretty when somebody can pull off a level like that.
という敵が非常に厄介です。さあこの後出てくるんですけど、このあっぱれですね、この敵が非常に厄介です。しっかりと、ここ4体出てくるので4体全員処理しながら攻略していきます。さあこの3体目のあっぱれ、こちらが非常に、難しいです。あっぱれと
Once again, another level of generally more forgiving, just simple platforming there, getting out of the enemy's way. Only one little bit here at the end, you kind of need to stop to make sure you don't get hit by the hammer guy, and that brings up the second castle and the final castle before the final level of the game. Or I guess the final castle that we're going to do that isn't the final level of the game. A lot of this level here is just minimizing slowdown because there's a lot of verticality to this particular level.
いいですね、お見事です。さあ3部屋目は左右に足場が動く半強制スクロールの
And then also just You went for it.
から通ると、すごい短縮できるんですけど、今回はちょっと決まらずといったところでね、ただ壁ジャンプして。
This whole section is very cycle based, so
さあここから先が注目ポイントとなってお
kind
り
of
まして、
bottlenecks the speed at which you can clear it. Bouncing off the enemy, taking the spring, creating a hole here before the cycle begins that he can start moving, and then just plowing through with the spring. Very clean.
There we go.
That was better than I was reviewing the runner's PB, and that was like better than the runner's PB in this part. So getting the Morton quick kill here, just knowing when to time the jump so that he never gets the ability to run around the walls and attack. Very clean boss fight.
さあなんともう早いもので前半戦がもう終了となりますが、さあリッキーさんここまでを振り返ってみていかがでしょうか。
本当にコーラジャンプ決まって
良かったですね。いや素晴らしかったです。本当にねリッキーさんが一番決めたかったっていうところがコーラジャンプだったので、それが決まって本当にここからね調子のどんどんね上げていって進めていきたいところですね。改めてリッキーさんに大きな拍手お願いいたします。ここから先も頑張っていきましょう。
we're heading off onto the third world. Third area. Remember all of those. I think it's Donuts Plains into Vanilla Dome here. It's a little bit of tech here where you can actually like release a shell by just pushing down and just like dropping it rather than like kicking it, and that allows him to not accidentally shoot it forward and then bounce back at him.
今いけたんですけどツタにつかめなかったのでこれバックアップのアルティメットを行っていきます。さあ3回振られたところでいいですね。しっかりと攻略。
Getting the back of shell jump since he missed the first one there to still be able to perform the bounce to get up to the key there. So, while it wasn't as clean as when perfectly done, it is a good backup. Once again, another shell jump here because he has no means to clear this gap. So just taking the intended strat to get back up, gonna do a jump off the spring. Very nice. 1 for 2 is not bad.
さあいいですね。しっかりと攻略していきました。こちらも本来であれば青スイッチを
The spring jumps and shell jumps are very difficult, so being able to pull them off in a marathon is very impressive. We're probably going to see quite a few of those in the upcoming Mario World run. Now we're off to Star World, and since this is the second Star World warp, you don't have to do the first level of the Star World. Here Yoshi is going to hatch, but since it's not actually a fully grown Yoshi, it doesn't count as a power-up. So instead he's just holding on to Yoshi so that he can get an increased speed that you get from holding on to objects, or dinosaurs in this case.
コースの特徴としては、土管入って通常ゴールしてしまうと元に戻されてしまうので、
Chat seems to really be enjoying the slow music. Alrighty, so that's Star World Stage 3. We need to get to the end of Star World Stage 4. Star World Stage... Or that was Star World Stage 2. Now we're on to Star World. Immediately kick up a block to clear out the Lakitu. So, like, that is very, very bang bang. So, very quickly killing, or very quickly getting the end of the level there. So, very smooth. It's a bit of a tricky level, like, casually. Now, here's probably the most, like, advanced tech in the entire run. So what he's going to do is he's going to get a shell, and he's going to try and carry it most of the way of the level, occasionally dropping it to clear out enemies in front of him. And he's going to kick the shell into the air, and then bounce off, use another, he's going to kick the shell in the air, and then use it as a springboard, and then hold on to another shell in the process so that he can clear past this very strange jump to get to, like, the secret exit of this room.
ちょっと惜しかったですね。こちら非常に難易度が高いので、なるべくね、ただこれもリッキーさん非常に見せたい。
It's quite a difficult setup, so this is where the extra 5+ minutes of estimate are baked into the run.
決まるかどうかお祈りしていただきながら、リッキーさんのこと見守っていただきたいと思います。ということで、ネイティブスターコース
Kick up the shell, try to perfectly time a jump onto the shell while holding another shell, and then that shell will be what gets him the key.
さあどうなるかといったところですね。さあここのノコノコうまく踏んでから、さあ2個保持のパターン決めていきます。どうだ。素晴らしい決めていきました。
Nice. First try.
First try.
We can go do Star World Stage 5, but he has no need to because this particular Star World warp takes him to the very end of the game. It's kind of like your warp whistle shortcut. This dungeon is designed to be a maze, but you only have to clear through door 2 and then door 7 afterwards as the optimal way through. And then just taking the back path so that you can avoid the fireballs.
こちらクッパ像の吐く炎の周期が、炎が周期となっているので開幕の炎のタイミングを確認してさあちょっとこれは厳しい炎のパターンかないいですねしっかりとこれ踏めないんだ
Yeah, again, one hit kill. And no checkpoints makes this run quite rough to try and like do in a marathon.
もう一回挑戦していきたいと思います。さあまずは2の部屋を選んで、金網を攻略していきます。裏に入りながら、ノコノコを踏んで
Yeah, just bouncing off the Koopas to minimize the amount of time that he has to cling to the wall.
もしかしたら、クッパ像の炎の周期がちょっとずれると思うのでそちらもしっかり確認して、見ていきたいところですね。さあ開幕すぐ炎を吐くパターンですね。これは大丈夫です。これは比較的簡単に通れるので素晴らしいですね。
First try.
It's always a butt clincher. Like anytime you see these screens of like very tight windows, like jump here, don't jump here, and like just barely get by the enemies. Alrighty, so we're on to the final boss. This part takes about a minute and 50-ish seconds, so all goes well. This should be a 16-minute run. Of course, Bowser cheats by flying, but occasionally he's going to throw the one thing that he can defeat that can defeat him, because you know what is a Bowser fight without loads of hubris? These Mecha Koopas you can throw back up at him and they'll hit him. Rather than go for the second hit, he's gonna wait for Bowser to throw down a couple more or throw out one more Mecha Koopa. So that way that he has multiple that just speeds up the fight to optimally get as many hits as quickly as possible. Because Bowser has a lot of attack animations.
投げるタイミングを遅らせました。さあこちらねピーチがキノコ投げてくるんですがこれ取ってしまう
No, we don't want that.
No. Peach, don't you know what category this is?
第2形態は鉄球を落としてきます。さあここからですねこの鉄球を落としてくるんですけれども2回目、鉄球を投げる瞬間にメカクッパを当てることで、クッパがメカクッパを投げたと鉄球を投げたと勘違いしてくれます。なので、これで鉄球キャンセルが決まって、この後、メカクッパを出してくれます。
But yeah, like this fight is hard to save any real time in. It's just making sure you don't accidentally die.
このためにメカクッパを1体保持して、第2形態に進んでおりました。さあまたね、裏に回ってバブルを出してきます。バブルに当たらないように、メガクッパをなくさないように気をつけながら、攻略していきます。さあまたねピーチ姫がキノコ投げてくるんですがこれは、回避して進んでいきます。さあ第3形態ですね。
I'm on a diet.
ドスンとクッパクラウンが跳ね上がるので、3回跳ね上がった後所定の位置で待機して
I ordered my pizza with no
クッ
mushrooms.
パを上投げで当てていきます。お見事ですね素晴らしい。
There it
ピ
is.
ーチ姫が出た瞬間に
So
タイマー
once
ストップです
Peach
お見事です。
first appears, that is the end. So 1637 for 3 deaths. Like that is like just some of the tricks you have to do in this run are incredible, and he was able to get pretty much all of them and had good backups in mind for when he couldn't. So just really well done. Alrighty. So that is Super Mario World, one of the most well-known speed games of all time. Kind of just giving you a taste of some of the tech that also will be coming up in the upcoming run. But I mean, Super Mario, just timeless classic. What else is there to say that hasn't been said about it? Really cool speed game. A lot of skill, a lot of different ways to play this game. And I hope y'all enjoyed. Hope I was able to do it justice.
Yeah.
I'm not like this has definitely not been like my forte of speed game, but I figured somebody could come in and do Mario World at least for 20 minutes.
Yeah. So do you have any shout outs as we're watching the credits here?
ありがとうございます。
はい。で、私のそうですね、走りの方なんですけど。
Honestly, like this is gonna be a bit of a weird one. Like I mean, I'm not really a Mario World runner, so I wouldn't say I'd like know anyone in particular that I would shout out. But I would say, shout outs to Author Blues. Well, he is kind of known for running a lot of bad games. His passion for this game kind of like rubbed off on me a little bit. Like he is somebody who's always upsold me on this games of speed games. I used to believe like the cape was just kind of like, you're just using the cape and skipping the levels, when I was a little bit less knowledgeable of like how intense the run can really be. 96 Exit, the game's like 100% category, and kind of its main category, like its 120 star category equivalent, is really skill demanding and doesn't actually use the cape nearly as much as I thought. So I think if there's anyone who's ever inspired me to like kind of really respect this game as a speed game, it would be Author Blues. So shoutouts to him.
All right. Well, thank you so much. You've been watching RTA in Japan Winter 2025, the English Restream. That is also it for me for tonight. So as we sign off here, the Mario block will continue. The next voice you hear will be Sawayoshi. So take care, y'all. And I'll see you again in a couple days here in one of the final days. Take care, y'all.
So, yo, keep watching.